The smell hit him first, sickly sweet synthetic strawberries clinging to the hot Los Angeles air like a memory that refused to die. Snoop pulled his hoodie lower over his eyes, not because he wasn't used to attention, he was, but because something about today felt off. The bass from his Impala's speakers had been thumping heavy as he rolled down Crenshaw, but when he saw her, he cut the music. She was standing outside a corner store, a plastic tray strapped around her neck like a sad necklace, filled with dollar candies and half-melted chocolate bars. Her lips were cracked, her braids frizzed from too much sun and too little care. But Snoop would have recognized those eyes anywhere. Maricela. It had been decades. They'd been 17, just dumb kids with mixtapes and hormones, making promises no one really keeps. She'd been the first girl who told him he was going to be big. Not just hood famous, Calvin, the whole world. Then she vanished, just like that. No note, no goodbye, just gone, and now she was right here. She didn't see him yet. She was focused on a guy in a Tesla walking past, giving him the usual hustle. "Hey mister, help a sister out? Only $1, promise it's fresh." The man waved her off without looking. Snoop's heart twisted. He parked. Not in a hurry, not dramatic. He didn't want to spook her. This wasn't a music video, this was real. He stepped out, tall and calm, blending into the street with the same quiet grace he always had. His chain tucked in, no entourage, no cameras, just him. He walked slowly toward her. "How much for the Skittles?" he said, voice low but unmistakable. Maricela didn't even look up at first. $1 or $2 for... Then her eyes met his. She froze. "Snoop?" His smile was faint, almost sad. "Ain't nobody called me that round here in a minute." She looked him up and down like she was trying to decide if this was real or some kind of mirage. "What the hell? You serious?" He nodded. "Been a long time, Mari." The plastic tray trembled in her hands. She took it off, set it on the curb. She didn't say anything for a long second, neither did he. Then she exhaled, hard. "Damn." "You really showed up, huh? I didn't even know you was out here," he said. "Just saw you and boom, took me right back." Maricela let out a dry laugh. "Back when we thought life was going to be mixtapes and Malibu sunrises. Back when I thought I'd never stop thinking about you," he said quietly. That silenced her. The corner of her lip twitched like she didn't know whether to cry or slap him. "Are you hungry?" he asked. "I know this joint a few blocks down. Still got them bomb shrimp tacos." She hesitated, looking down at the candy, then at the people passing by, then finally at him. "I don't want your pity, Calvin." He stepped closer. "This ain't pity. This is unfinished business." They locked eyes again, but this time something softened. The edge in her jaw unclenched. "All right," she said, "but I'm only going 'cause I miss those damn tacos." He grinned. "That's the Mari I remember." As they walked off, side by side, the candy tray sat abandoned on the sidewalk, glinting in the afternoon sun. Want to know what happens next? Stick around. And if this chapter hit you, subscribe and drop a comment below. We're just getting started. The taco spot hadn't changed. Same faded menu, same dusty plastic cactus in the window. The woman at the counter didn't bat an eye when Snoop walked in. That's how you knew it was real LA. Fame might light the city up, but hunger always came first. Maricela slid into the cracked vinyl booth across from him, arms folded tight, chin high. She hadn't said much on the walk, just nods, half smiles, a few sighs. Snoop didn't push. He could feel the years between them stretching and snapping like power lines in a storm. "So," she said finally when the tacos hit the table, "you still smoke as much as you used to?" He smirked. "I evolved. Now I got my own strain." She chuckled, barely. "Of course you do." They ate in silence for a bit. Her eyes darted around, never quite settling on his. He watched her, the way she held her taco like it might vanish if she didn't grip it tight, the way she chewed slow like she hadn't had a real meal in a while. "You living out there now?" he asked. "Skid Row?" She paused, taco halfway to her mouth. "Sometimes. Depends." "On what?" "On if I got enough to grab a motel for the night. If not, yeah. Skid's home." Snoop looked away, swallowing something that wasn't food. Damn. She leaned back. Don't give me that face. I made my choices. You disappeared, he said, more edge in his voice than he meant. I had to. From me? Without a word. She looked him dead in the eye. You were blowing up, Calvin. First album, radio spins, crowds screaming your name. You had your dream. I wasn't going to be the girl from the block dragging behind. You were never dragging. You were the reason I even believed in myself. Maricela shook her head slowly. I didn't want to be a footnote in your life. He tapped his fingers on the table, eyes locked on hers. So instead you just vanished, left me wondering if you were even alive. Silence again, a long one. Then in a whisper she said, I got pregnant. Snoop's breath caught. I didn't know if it was yours, she continued, her voice fragile now. And then I lost it. Miscarried at 5 months. I was alone, scared, and when I tried to come back, you were already gone, untouchable. He didn't say anything. He couldn't. His hand reached across the table, slow and deliberate, and rested on hers. I would have been there, he said finally. I know that now, she whispered. A teenage boy at the counter pointed in their direction, whispering to his friend. Snoop noticed, but didn't care. The world could wait. Where you sleeping tonight? He asked. She gave a half shrug. I'll figure it out. He nodded slowly. No, you won't. Not tonight. Snoop, Calvin. I don't want charity. It ain't charity if it's love. Her eyes glistened, but she blinked fast, hard. Don't do that. What? Say stuff like that. It'll mess me up. He smiled softly. Too late. Outside, the sky had started to dip into gold. The air smelled like car exhaust, carne asada, and maybe a second chance. The valet raised an eyebrow when Snoop pulled up to the Ritz-Carlton with Maricela in the passenger seat. She still wore her candy cellar vest, a faded windbreaker, and sneakers with a rip near the toe. But Snoop didn't flinch, didn't explain, just tossed the keys and said, take care of her, like she was royalty. The lobby's cool air hit Maricela like a different planet. Marble floors, chandeliers, the scent of something rich and unplaceable floating in the air. I don't belong here, she murmured, shrinking beside him as they waited at the front desk. Snoop looked at her. You belong wherever I say you belong tonight. That's supposed to be comforting, she said, trying to mask her unease with sarcasm. He grinned. It's supposed to be true. She followed him to the suite in silence, her eyes wide as they stepped into the room. King-size bed, a view that stretched to the ocean, everything gleaming. The candy tray from earlier felt like a memory from someone else's life. He opened the minibar and grabbed a bottle of water, handing it to her. Hydrate. You look like you ain't drank nothing but hope and fumes today. Maricela gave a soft laugh and took the bottle. You always had a mouth on you. Still do. She sank onto the edge of the bed, legs bouncing. You ever think about back then? About what we were? Every damn day. That caught her off guard. She stared at him, not sure whether to believe it, but his face wasn't playing. It was the same look he'd had the night before his first big show, when he'd told her he was scared, and she told him to own the stage like he owned the block. You ever think what might have happened if I stayed? She asked. Yeah, he said. I think I'd still be here with you, just without all this in between. They sat in that quiet for a long while. The city below twinkled like it was eavesdropping. I messed up, she said finally. No, he replied. Life messed us both up, but I'm right here now. That's all that matters. Maricela leaned back on the bed, one arm covering her eyes. Don't make me start dreaming again, Calvin. It hurts more than being hungry. He walked over and sat beside her, gently lifting her arm so he could see her face. Dreams don't expire. They just wait for you to catch your breath. She stared up at him. Why now? Because the universe don't always send a memo. Sometimes it just throws you back in front of the only person who ever made you feel like more than your struggle. Her voice cracked. I'm tired. Then rest right here. Ain't nobody gonna ask you to leave. She turned to her side, curling into the pillows. You staying? He pulled off his jacket, laying it over the arm of the chair. Yeah, I ain't going nowhere. She drifted off quick, like her body had been waiting for this moment longer than her mind had. He watched her sleep, her breath slow and steady, and realized how loud his world had been until now. In that quiet luxury suite high above the city, the man who'd built an empire from rhythm and rhyme sat beside the girl who once believed in him before the world did. And for the first time in years, he felt like the music had finally found its way home. Morning sunlight poured through the floor-to-ceiling windows like it belonged there. Maricela stirred, blinked against the light, and for a moment, just a moment, forgot where she was. Then the softness of the sheets, the scent of fresh linen and espresso, and the low murmur of a news anchor on TV brought her back. She sat up, disoriented, and saw Snoop in the corner, legs crossed, phone in hand, tapping away. He looked up when he felt her eyes on him. "Mornin'," he said, voice low, smooth. She cleared her throat. "You stayed. Told you I would." She nodded slowly, unsure of what to do with this version of him. Older, calmer, more grounded, yet still somehow the same kid who used to freestyle on her front porch. "You hungry?" She hesitated. "I could eat." He smiled and hit a button on the room's phone. "Let's do it proper then." Within 20 minutes, room service rolled in a spread worthy of royalty. Scrambled eggs with goat cheese, pancakes dusted with powdered sugar, a pitcher of fresh squeezed orange juice. Maricela looked at it like it was too good to touch. "Go on," Snoop urged. "This ain't a museum." She bit into a pancake and let out a low moan. "Okay, that's unfair." "I didn't know food could taste like this," he laughed. "You been surviving, Mari. This is living." She looked at him seriously now, food forgotten. "Why are you doing this?" He paused. "I've been thinking about legacy a lot lately. You spend years building up your name, your brand. But if you ain't taking care of the ones who knew you before all that, what's it even worth? You think I'm your responsibility?" "No, I think you're my reminder." She took a long sip of juice. "I don't want to be someone's reminder." "Then be something more. Be a partner. Be part of the next chapter." Her eyes narrowed slightly. "What does that mean?" He leaned in. "I got projects. Community stuff, schools, outreach. I've been putting money into places that raised me. You know how to talk to people, Mari. You got that fire in you. You could help me." She frowned. "Help you? You want to hire me?" "No, I want to build with you." That silenced her. He continued, softer now. "You said dreamin' hurts. Maybe that's because you've been dreaming alone." Maricela looked out the window. The city stretched endlessly, chaotic and alive. She remembered nights spent curled behind dumpsters, hugging her knees. She remembered laughter from years ago, his voice, his arms around her shoulders, the warmth of possibility. "I don't have experience," she said. "You got pain. That's better than experience. You can't fake real." A tear slipped down her cheek, and she wiped it away fast. "What would I even do?" "Come with me. Tomorrow, South Central Community Center. I got a talk scheduled. Just observe. See if it feels right." She exhaled, unsure whether it was fear or hope she was breathing out. "Okay, I'll come." He smiled. "Then we got something to look forward to." She took another bite, slower this time, savoring not just the food, but the feeling. Maybe this wasn't just a break from her life. Maybe it was the start of something entirely new. The community center buzzed with energy. Kids ran through the halls, their laughter bouncing off the graffiti-tagged walls. Parents waited in plastic chairs, some impatient, some hopeful. The scent of old books, cafeteria food, and floor cleaner filled the air, familiar, grounding. Snoop stepped inside like he belonged, because he did. Maricela followed, nerves riding high. She wore jeans, a clean t-shirt, and borrowed confidence. No candy tray today. Just her, trying to figure out what the next chapter even meant. A young staffer spotted Snoop and waved him over. "You ready, Mr. Broaddus?" "Always," he said with a smile. Then he turned to Maricela. "You good?" She nodded, unsure if she meant it. "Just don't expect me to say anything." he grinned. Just watch, that's all. The multi-purpose room was packed, mostly teens in mismatched chairs, trying to look uninterested. Snoop grabbed the mic and started in that easy, effortless way only he could. Y'all know me. You know the name, the voice, the face. But you don't know what it took to stand in front of you today. He told them about his childhood, his arrests, his doubts. Then he talked about her. There was this girl, he said, eyes landing on Maricela in the back. Smart, brave. She believed in me before I did. Life took her one way, me another. But fate's got a strange way of circling back. Some of the kids leaned in. Others watched her now. She's why I'm standing here. Not 'cause she saved me, but 'cause she reminded me I was worth saving. And so are you. Applause broke out, soft at first, then stronger. Snoop stepped aside. Unexpectedly, Maricela stood. Something inside her clicked open. She didn't plan it, didn't rehearse. She walked up slow, heart pounding, and took the mic from his hand. My name's Maricela, she said, voice shaking. You don't know me, but I know struggle. I know what it's like to be invisible, to sell candy just to eat, to sleep on sidewalks. The room quieted. I disappeared for years, thought no one would notice, but someone did. Someone remembered me when I forgot myself. She looked at Snoop. He nodded, proud but silent. You think your story's over because it hurts, but sometimes pain's just the prologue. The silence held. Then, cheers, applause. Some clapped slow and steady, others stood. Afterward, a girl came up to her, maybe 15, eyeliner smudged. You been where I'm at? Maricela smiled. Yeah, and I'm still climbing. But I ain't alone anymore. They spent the rest of the day answering questions, taking pictures, laughing. Snoop let her take the lead more than once. When it was over, they stepped out into the sunset. Same streets, but they felt different. You killed it, he said. She exhaled. That felt, right. He pulled out a folder from his car. Inside, a basic contract. A salaried position with his foundation, program coordinator, benefits, dignity. You serious? She whispered. Dead. She didn't even hesitate this time. She signed. Later that night, back at the hotel, they sat on the balcony. No champagne, just water, fresh air, and the sound of the city below. Maricela looked at him, eyes softer now. You know, this could be the start of something. Snoop chuckled. Girl, this is something. She smiled, and for the first time in years, her heart believed it.